option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of wintry mix this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy. The high near 43. Tonight, decreasing clouds, the low around 34. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. Light winds, a little warmer, a high near 72. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
The stretch run is here. On March 18th, Love Nebraska hosts Love Atlanta at Baxter Arena with first serve set for 7 p.m., and every set carries postseason implications. Two explosive teams meet on one court, trading quick transition, heavy swings, and defensive plays that can shift the match in seconds. Playoff implications on the line as the season winds down. Don't just track the score, feel every rally live. Secure your seats at lovebneb.com/tickets.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
A good grade, a kind word, a new friend, or even trying something new. These are the victories worth celebrating. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. When parents celebrate effort at school, kids gain confidence. So keep encouraging them. Every small step they take is building a stronger path to success. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm back. All right, had girls state basketball, boys state basketball, and the like. You gonna make it sound convincing when I ask you? Did you miss me?
Oh, absolutely missed you. I've been waiting for you to come back.
Dude, that's the best you've ever done. I don't believe you at all, mostly because of the way I set it up. I put you in a difficult spot, but you handled it great. But it's good to be back. Nebraska basketball, NCAA tournament, women's basketball plays tomorrow night versus Richmond. And, of course, Nebraska football, which is this is kind of odd to say, on a bye week? Is that how you say it when you take spring break in the middle of spring practice, a bye week? All right, they practiced, 3 weeks, then they got this week off for spring break, then they head into game week next week and into the spring game. There's a lot of college football teams that won't have even started spring practice. And we'll be done. Like UCLA, I think it's April 3rd. They kick it off. It was kind of interesting to me that the cold weather team, in the coldest part of the year that you can have spring ball reasonably, maybe we'll do it in January next year. Who knows? I'm all for doing whatever works. Hey, we get more wins next year. Let's keep moving it up, okay? But the cold weather team chose to have spring ball in a colder part of year while the warm weather team pushed it back. They're not the only one. There's other teams. I don't think Oregon will have started until after we're done. So it's just kind of intriguing. But we have talked about this before. I actually like the way the Matt Rule laid it out. 6 weeks of winter conditioning. They could start a week earlier due to the school calendar being moved up. Second semester starting a week earlier, so they could get 6 weeks of winter conditioning. Then they had 5 weeks to get 4 weeks of practice in with that bye week, that spring break week, which is now this week in the middle, then 6 more weeks, then a little bit of a break, then they come back for summer conditioning. So I actually like the way they laid it out. We got to get bigger. We got to get faster. We got to get stronger. We got to get tougher mentally, physically, and all that starts in the weight room. Tom Osborne, it's funny. I'm coaching my Twins basketball team. This is like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And my wife calls me. She goes, "You'll never guess who's here." I'm like, okay. Did the Pope show up or something? Like, who is here right now? I walk out there, and it's a Coach Osborne. Nobody's standing next to him, by the way. Like, they're all like all the parents can see him, and they're like, whispering and looking out the side. Like, they're terrified to go over to him. So anyways, I went over, chatted with him, talked with him. You never know who's going to show up anywhere you go. But it's always fun to talk about. The offseason is almost always fun to talk about things. This year's been a little bit more challenging, I would say. I actually just watched Josh Pate. Spring football intel for Nebraska. You want to know how he wrapped up it wasn't just Nebraska. I think it was like Clemson and all these other schools. But Nebraska was one of them. You want to know how he wrapped up the Nebraska part of the segment?
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
I saw a brief clip of it, and it didn't seem like he was too high on it.
Oh, you got to watch the whole clip. No. So last year, he predicted us to be a playoff team. He talked about how the wide receivers were playmakers. Like, clearly, the folks down at the university are telling him things. Like, this is what we want out there, okay? Totally cool with that, no problem with that. This is the message we want out. Obviously, you want it to be a positive message and whatnot. And that didn't come to fruition. You could kind of tell he felt foolish at the end of the football season, the way things kind of wrapped up, the playoff teams versus the non-playoff teams. Of course, it wasn't just Nebraska. You get some right, you get some wrong. No big deal. But I was kind of curious how he was going to approach his Nebraska offseason coverage this year. Did he feel burned? Did he feel misled? Could he trust them? And he doesn't hype it up a lot, but he ends it by saying, it's a long runway. It's a long offseason. I could talk myself into 7, 8, maybe 9 wins for Nebraska. There's a long offseason to get myself talked into it. I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, E2, Josh Pate, E2. All right, let's see what happens as this offseason progresses. You look at On3, J.D. Pickell, Ja'Cory Barney makes a phenomenal catch in practice. I will say this, it was a phenomenal catch, but it was a phenomenal catch. He did a whole entire segment off the catch, which is exciting. I'm a big fan of Ja'Cory. I have been, not just the way he plays. Hopefully we can get the ball in his hands more. Hopefully we can take advantage of his skill set on sweeps and arounds, getting the ball in his hand in space. I'd love him to see him possibly return more kicks this year. rant and rave about Quasi Gilmer. Obviously, you heard nothing but great things this offseason. I'm excited to see what Isaiah Hunter can do, who flew under the radar last offseason. Now I feel like he's doing it again this offseason. But, Jacory made a phenomenal catch, and I can't wait to see what he can do. But I thought it was interesting. Piquel did an entire, I shouldn't say entire, it was like 8 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, off this one highlight. So it's easy to go one way or the other in the offseason is what I'm getting at. Like, I love that there's still positive news out there about Nebraska football because nobody truly knows what's going to happen. Like, do you really know what's going to happen next fall?
No.
It seems like a dumb question, but like every year we convince ourselves this is what's going to happen, and then we have no freaking clue. The ball kicks off. That ball is shaped all sorts of funny, goofy ways. It bounces all over the place. All hell breaks loose, and it's called college football, and that's why we love it so much. Like Nebraska could go 6-6. They could go 5-7. They could go 9-3. They could go 3-9. Is not all of that like other than 12-0, 0-12? Is not all of that reasonably plausible in like some version of a realistic world out there somewhere as we sit here right now in March?
It is. The more I talk myself into 9 wins every offseason and don't get it, the less I believe it's more plausible. But yeah, I mean, it's happened before here, certainly.
I get it. I totally get it. It's just the offseason is always entertaining for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, what's the attitude when you start the offseason? What's the attitude as the offseason progresses? And as Pate put it, it's a long runway to talk myself into 9 wins. Then what does it look like come August? And then by the time we go into that first game week, we're going to sit, we can sit here and debate, well, Nebraska, the over-under, what was 5.5 from Vegas last week? Will they get to 6? We could be sitting here in August. All right, 9 or 10. What's it going to be, Jake? 9 or 10? Is it 9 or 10? 8 or 9, 7? You never know how it's going to progress. It's always entertaining for me to see a couple of things. The folks that I pay attention to, okay, the folks that I respect their opinions, where do they start the offseason? How does it progress? And then where do they end the offseason as we head into game week of week 1? Number 2, how do I progress? Because I will find myself, obviously you learn things. We get players through the portal in January. That's technically part of the offseason, even though we're still playing the playoffs. Is that the offseason or not? How does that work in college football? How would you define that? January makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. You hit it nail on the head. It's part off season.
Yeah, it was part of our off season, so I'm going to call it the off season.
It's a lot of folks off season.
Yeah, I would like it to be part of our season at some point, but for now, it's part of our off season. So you get news in the portal, throughout the portal. Then you hear things here and there from coaches, and you get to know things. And if you got people on the inside to help you out, if you know things to kind of help you out, a little bit of inside info. Then you just see how things progress. You hear spring ball. You learn things throughout spring ball. Like right now, the offensive line looks really good. You hear things about the offensive line look really good. The offensive line is freaking huge. Did you see a picture? Let me see. Did you see that picture? I've got it here. Of Jeep Wade compared to the rest of the offensive line. Now, obviously, Jeep Wade is not an offensive lineman. He didn't play college football, did he?
I could look into it.
Yeah, look into it. Okay, they tower over him. So it's kind of like my wife right now. And I mean this respectfully, because obviously I love my wife. I'm a big fan of Jeep Wade. Like, our kids are tall. My wife's a front rower for life in our family. Like, we've got 10-year-olds that are starting to look her eye to eye, okay? And there's going to come a day where she's getting on our kids. That finger's going to be wagging upward. You know what I mean? I almost envision that with Jeep Wade. Like, he's getting on him, but the finger's wagging upward. And again, I mean that respectfully. Comically, but like a respectful comic version of that. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing when the offensive line is that big. Like, you look at, let me see here, Paul Mubenga, 6'5", 315. He's actually not one of the bigger ones. Okay, Elijah Pritchett, 6'6", 325. You look at Brendan Black, 6'4", 320. Tree Babalade, 6'5", 330. All right, Claude Mpuma, 4-star freshman tackle thrown in here as well. 6'5", 338 is the true freshman. Justin Evans, just a mere 6'2", 315. Yeah, just a mere. So the offensive line is clearly bigger, but you hear how athletic they are compared to last year. Now, when you think about, as much as I'm a fan of a lot of the guys who played over the past few years on that offensive line and battled injuries, like, I will forevermore root for Teddy Prohaska. Came back from all those knee injuries. Unfortunately, got hurt again, okay? But Teddy comes back. You've got all these other guys. I'm not going to list all of them, from Corcoran and everyone else, who battled, and they were seemingly here forever, okay? But when you're battling those things, and they start to stack up over time, it's going to limit your mobility. So we always had size. We always had power. We've got athleticism. Now, is the power at the same level? Did the power go up? Did the power go down? How does that all work together? But with the offensive line, you start to hear, well, we knew how big they were. You start to hear things about them. You start to hear, like, a lot of these guys were highly recruited, very highly recruited. So you expect there to be a certain amount of athleticism. There's already going to be the amount of size. And you got Jeep Wade with the coaching. And I absolutely expect the offensive line to be better. I think they're going to be noticeably better. The first thing that people are going to watch is the amount of sacks we give up, okay? And I think that's a fair thing to keep an eye on. So the pass pro, as long as they communicate. There was too many free runners to the quarterback last year where there were guys just on the wrong page. It had nothing to do with how well you could block. It was, we didn't block that guy. We didn't block that guy. It happened too many times. You go back to the abhorred Minnesota game. We gave up 9 sacks that game. You remember how many free runners we had that game? I've mentioned it multiple times on the show. Do you happen to remember it all?
I don't know how many. Jeez.
10 times we had a guy come completely unblocked towards the quarterback. So you just start with communication. That is something that can be remedied very quickly. Then you talk about the ability to pass protect one-on-one, as opposed to getting, like, our tackles struggled to protect around the edges last year, especially do it on a consistent basis. And I'm sure they would admit that it wasn't where they wanted it to be, hoping to improve that. So then you just have the ability, the athleticism, the mobility to protect better in those one-on-one situations. There's a reason the guys that are the highest paid in the NFL are the quarterbacks, the guys who can get after the quarterbacks, the guys who can protect the quarterbacks, the guys who can catch the rock from the quarterback, and the guys who guard the guys who catch the rock from the quarterback. In other words, quarterbacks, offensive tackles, pass rushers, wide receivers, DBs. Those are your highest paid players in the NFL. Well, it's very similar in college football. Now, there's a reason for that. If you can win that one-on-one battle as a team more often than not, you've got a gigantic advantage. A gigantic advantage. If you can't, now you have to start changing your scheme. And if you remember Dana Holgerson's first press conference of the spring, I forget the exact wordage, so I'm going to paraphrase. He basically said it's going to be nice to be able to call plays that I think work best rather than calling the plays, and again, I'm paraphrasing, the plays I have to based on our players' limitations or the limitations of the offense. Okay, and every offense is going to have strengths and limitations and things they need to work on, but they were glaring last year. We kind of know what they are. So for me, I look at the offensive line. I look at what I firmly believe to be a noticeably improved offensive line. Now, what does that mean? Noticeably improved. Adam, does that mean we're going to be really good? I don't know. Great? I don't know. Above average? I don't know. Average? I don't know. What I'm going with is noticeably improved. Like clearly improved. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I have no idea how good we're going to be other than we're going to definitely be better on the offensive line. And that is one of the safest preseason predictions I've made in years. I feel very safe saying that. You got any holes you want to poke in my argument? Because if you do, go ahead. Like, poke away, man.
Well, I mean, the only argument you could have is obviously Emmett Johnson's numbers. Are they going to be able to do that again for the ground game?
But is that? Oh, I said offensive line.
Well,
I said offensive line play as a whole here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
You took it a different direction.
Well, no, that's part of it. Are you going to be able? You had one of the top running backs in the nation behind that offensive line. Are you going to get a similar result this year?
Okay, you should want to talk about the ground game specifically.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, that makes sense. I actually think it can be better. Pause for effect. Dead air out there, ladies and gentlemen. Dead air. Pause for effect. Here's why. We were 68th in the country in passing last year. 80th in run offense. We had the Big Ten's best running back, but we had the 80th best rushing offense as a team. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that. Now, part of that is all the sacks. Again, why can't we just have a different stat number for all the sack? Like, why does it have to come off the rushing total? It's misleading. So, instantly, I think we're going to be better at protecting the quarterback from an offensive line perspective. Instantly, our quarterback makes quick decisions. He does. And then he's got the ability, and he will take off and run and scramble, make off-script plays. By the way, several things that Pate said, he referred to Quasi Gilmore specifically. He used the exact term off-script plays. Well, it's funny because when you hear them speak down, at the press conferences and the coaches talk, that's the exact verbiage they use. So obviously, there's things that they feel good about that they want to get out there, and they want a positive message out there, which obviously I support. But I think instantly the sack numbers are going to go down for, I think, beyond obvious reasons, but the reasons I just diatribed. So instantly our rushing totals are going to go up. Because again, for some reason, that's part of the rushing stats. Again, can we make the sack yards different than the rushing total? Because it jades everything. It's misleading. But Instantly, our rushing totals as a team are going to be better. Now, do I think we have another Emmett Johnson in that backfield? I didn't think we had an Emmett Johnson in the backfield last offseason. I just thought finally our best running back's going to be starting going into the season, which was Emmett. And then he had the freaking season he did, which was phenomenal. So I don't know if we have another Emmett Johnson in that backfield. I don't know if we have to, because it's going to be a little bit more running back by committee, whether it's Mosey, whether it's who am I? I'm blanking.
Mekhi Nelson?
Yes, thank you. Mekhi Nelson. You got Connor Booth, Quentin Ives. You hear a ton about Jamal Rule. Those seem to be the top three. From Mosey, kind of my gut tells me he may get that starting job, maybe the most well-rounded of the backs. Then you got Mekhi, pretty explosive. Then you got Jamal, who they really, really love. And I'm not saying the other guys can't get play time too, because Holgerson literally said, we didn't go get a portal running back because Quentin Ives had the December he did. So maybe those short yardage situations are better next year. Emmett was a really good running back. I wouldn't point to him and say, hey, that's a great short yardage back. Literally great at just about everything else. The two things that he needs to work on the most, number one would be pass protection, okay? Blocking as a pass protector, and short yardage, but it's just kind of not how he's built. So that's why you have multiple backs who play in a football game, all right? And you sub them in and out. So I would say just pass protection, number one for him. So this year, we could have different guys for different situations. Maybe Ives is that short yardage back. You got Isaiah Mosey for if you want to start a guy that's a little bit more well-rounded. Mekhi's got his strengths. Jamal's got his strengths. So as a more, I don't know, I want to say running back by committee approach, maybe that's what it'll be, but multiple running backs playing more often in the game, it was amazing, Emmett's durability and his endurance. But it obviously lessens the opportunity for injury, and it obviously increases the freshness that the guys will be throughout the game. Now, the only drawback, I will tell you right now as a defender, things you look at for tips of what an offense is going to do. You look at formations and sets. What's the personnel? 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers. Is it 21, 2 running backs, 1 tight end? What is the personnel? Where are they lined up? Because every team has tendencies. Beyond that, who's the tight end in the game? Now, most teams have a starting tight end, but sometimes they'll have a blocking tight end, and they'll have a receiving tight end. You look, okay, which tight end? But the biggest single tip you can get as a defender is which running back's in the game. Now, if you've got an Emmett, a team with an Emmett-style back, it's not much of a tip because he's almost always in the game. The only downside to having multiple guys doing multiple things is it can sometimes become fairly predictable. This guy's in for short yardage. They're going to run power. This guy's in for this. This guy's in for that. Now, I played for Shanahan in D.C., and I've heard him tell this story no less than a dozen times, and it's an epic story, so why not? Big-time underdogs, 96 Super Bowl versus the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre. Terrell Davis is eating up the Packers defense. He suffers a concussion in the middle of the game. All right. And he tells Shanahan, and Shanahan's like, all right, fine. We can't give you the ball, but you've got to stay in the game. Because if you're not in the game, nobody's going to believe this play is happening. I don't know who their backup was, but they're like, if we put him in, they're not going to believe we're giving him the ball. Just carry out the play action. And then it was the John Elway bootleg where he took off and got helicoptered. You remember that play? So that's the play. So sometimes you can use your own tendencies to mislead the defense, but you can't do that all the time for obvious reasons, because you want to have guys who have their strengths at what they do in the games at certain points in the game. But sometimes you can use that against the defense in a key situation. All right. Any final thoughts there, Jake, on this topic?
No, not for now.
Okay. Before we go to break, we come back. We should talk maybe some college basketball. Thoughts on that? College basketball?
Yeah, I can
Husker
do that.
basketball,
Big week for
women's
that.
basketball, NCAA tournament. I asked Jake if he wanted to do an NCAA tournament pick'em, and he said, no, you're a loser, and I want to do it with Terrell during Bach in the black shirt. Is that not a direct quote?
I think that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
That is exactly what you said. It hurt my feelings almost. All right. So we are going to talk some college basketball, but after this, Bach in the black shirt, they're going to do a full NCAA tournament pick'em all the way down. They will guarantee they're telling you who the national champ is. Isn't that right?
Yeah, between the three of us, we might get one.
We do it. I like that. Between the three of us, we might pick the right national champion. Before we head to break, though, all right, as a former Husker and NFL player, you all know I'm a bit of a health nut. Hydration and recovery, they do start at home. Make sure you team up with Culligan of Lincoln like I have. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects my water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, make sure you add, like I did, a Culligan Reverse Osmosis. It's like bottle quality water right at my tap. Great taste and is certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, check out their spring specials as we celebrate March Madness, and make sure you stay hydrated through all the fun. Culligan of Lincoln, ladies and gentlemen, is the place to be. Water you love, go Big Red. Limited time offer. Participating dealers. Restrictions may apply. Learn more at culliganlincoln.com/basketball. Also, Buffalo Wings and Rings broadcast. Make sure you join us here at 93.7 The Ticket as we watch day one, and the Nebraska basketball game will be going on live during this show. 11:40 on Thursday. The show is noon to 1. So we will be literally broadcasting at Buffalo Wings and Rings live during the Nebraska basketball game on Thursday as they curb stomp and mollywop Troy. Isn't that right, Jake?
That's right.
All right. Let's see here. Join us from Buffalo Wings and Rings on 68th and O. Doors open at 10 a.m. with the first game tipping off shortly after 11 a.m. Nebraska at 11:40. Be one of the first 64 people in the door and receive a ping pong ball with a specific team on it for you to win prizes throughout the tournament. Additional prizes will be given away as we broadcast live from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and we'll have plenty of post-game coverage after Nebraska faces Troy. Stop by Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Thursday and Friday for March Madness from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Mike, I've been thinking, our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
John just tried Runza's new Jam and Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally
What?
You know, boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'.
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jam and Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail. And of course, it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
The stretch run is here. On March 18th, Love Nebraska hosts Love Atlanta at Baxter Arena with first serve set for 7 p.m., and every set carries postseason implications. Two explosive teams meet on one court, trading quick transition, heavy swings, and defensive plays that can shift the match in seconds. Playoff implications on the line as the season winds down. Don't just track the score, feel every rally live. Secure your seats at lovebneb.com/tickets.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes a complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bracket Challenge. Join the annual 93.7 The Ticket Bracket Challenge today by searching 93.7 The Ticket Bracket Challenge 2026. It's free to enter, and if you finish at or near the top, when a champion is crowned in early April, you'll win prizes from us here in 93.7 The Ticket. Compete against our 93.7 The Ticket hosts and earn bragging rights in the annual 93.7 The Ticket Bracket Challenge. Steps to enter: 1. Go to ESPN's Bracket Challenge. 2. Search 93.7 The Ticket Bracket Challenge 2026. 3. Join and win. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Nebraska basketball, such a deep sigh. Such a deep sigh. Okay. I have a family member whose name shall remain nameless. All right, they better be in school, so they better not be listening to this. There's a hint. This individual picked Nebraska not only to be ousted in the first round of their individual bracket that they filled out. We do this as a large family every year. They named it Nebraska out in the first round is the name of their freaking bracket. Like, here, let's go to mine. The name of my bracket, what did I even name it? Adam the Champ. Adam the Champ. So mine's something reasonable. Adam the Champ. This individual is Nebraska out first round. So I'm not saying they're a child of mine. If they were, they'd be up for adoption. My mom was adopted. Adoption is awesome, but they might be up for it as well. But I'm not going to confirm or deny that it is a child of mine and or who it may or may not be. If you know me, you can text me with your guesses or suggestions, and I will confirm or deny if it is accurate. If you do not know me, text Jake and or at him on Twitter, anything you'd like. All right, let's talk about Nebraska basketball. 13.5-point favorite versus Richmond. So right out the gate, Jake, do you like the matchup for us or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a solid matchup for Nebraska. Obviously for, any of these 4-13 games, getting any deeper 3-14, Nebraska was the top four seed, if you will. You're going to like the matchup. It's going to look good on paper. Of course, it's another thing when it goes out there and you play it on the court. But yeah, I mean, as far as what they bring to the table, as for Troy, it would obviously have to be their biggest win of the year to get it. And it would obviously have to be Nebraska's worst loss of the year for this to happen. We've got kind of a large sample size there. I mean, I like Thomas Dowd, first team All Sun Belt. It's a good program as far as 20-win season. They had the coach of the year there. The fact that they've got two guards that call themselves the Red Mambas kind of scares me because that sounds like an NCAA tournament story waiting to happen. But of course, Nebraska's got an NCAA tournament story of their own right waiting to happen. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a solid team. Any team you're playing, obviously a tournament team at this point. So I don't expect them to roll over, but I think the Huskers should be able to take care of business, get the first win in school history in the NCAA tournament.
So it would be our worst loss of the season or the biggest win in Nebraska basketball history if we get the win. Dare I say the biggest game of the season? Is this the biggest game in Nebraska basketball history? Like, seriously, not even joking.
Yeah, I think it is.
So that is, in my opinion, the biggest obstacle to Nebraska winning. Now, Troy's a good team, 22-11, the number one seed going into the Sun Belt tournament. They win the Sun Belt tournament. They got the 5-bye. Again, I asked people the other day, what do you call this? And someone sent me the answer. I can't remember. But they got 5 byes in the Sun Belt tournament. So they only had to win 2 games. And the teams they beat were like Georgia Southern. They were like the 8 and the 10 seed. So they're a good team, 22-11. All right, they've won their last 4 games of the year. They're not a pushover. They're not a gimme. This is the big dance. This is March Madness. Anything can happen. Nebraska is the better team. The thing about the NCAA tournament and why it is March Madness, it is the least effective way of finding a true national champion of any of the playoff systems that exist in the world. It also is arguably the most entertaining, which is why it's March Madness. My point is Nebraska is the better team. They're a 13.5-point favorite for a reason. The best team doesn't always win. It's about who can get hot in a one-game scenario. So I look at what travels. The number one defense in the Big Ten in conference play was Nebraska. That travels. The team that's forced more turnovers out of any team in the Big Ten in Big Ten conference regular season play was Nebraska. That travels. Their offense. Hey, we bring Rink to the top because he can shoot, he can dish. We set all sorts of screens. If they're grabbing Price around the screen, we're going to be in trouble. Hopefully they don't get away with that. But again, I don't want to hear anything about the refs. We got to get the job done or not. All our passers, cutters, everything to the hoop. You draw their 5 out. Their low post defender, you draw them out from the hoop. It leaves the hoop a lot more exposed, which is what Fred Hoiberg's offense kind of revolves around. The other thing is we have made more three-pointers than any other team in the Big Ten. I don't want to say we live and die with the 3-point ball, but we kind of do. But what travels is defense. What travels is forcing turnovers. We don't even have to shoot great. If we just have an average shooting day and we don't make the situation bigger than it is, this the biggest basketball game in the history of Nebraska basketball. Don't make it bigger than it is. I'm serious. Just go out and play basketball. That is the biggest obstacle. If we just go out and play basketball, and Fred Hoiberg said, everyone knows the elephant in the room. Get the monkey off your back. Be done with zoo animals, and let's get a win against a good team, not a great team, a team we should beat. Okay? And let's move on to the next round. Was it Vanderbilt, McNeese, whoever wins that game, we're going to play that team. You look at Price Sanford averaging 18 points a game, Rick Mass with 6 rebounds a game, Hoiberg averaging over 4 assists a game, to over 2 steals a game. All right. We just need to go out and do what we do. This is a game where if we're not the best first half team. I love being a great second half team. It means you make adjustments, especially at halftime and throughout the game. I love that. But if we can just start fast, like if we start out with a lead and it doesn't even have to be big. If we walk into halftime with just a 5-point lead, I'm going to feel great, knowing that our strength is the second half. And those early nerves, those early emotions, that early pressure that they're going to feel because they know everything that I've just said, and I'm not the only one saying it. Okay, but it's just basketball. Don't make it bigger than it is. One of my favorite things that Rob Orridge said, and I know Matt Rule was kind of like, You know, you say something positive about one player and then, the media is like, what about this other player or whatever. It's kind of a joking situation. But one of my favorite things about Rob Orich, when he was asked in his first press conference, you've never coached in a place like this. Basically with this many eyeballs, he goes, football's just football. Now, he's still never done it, but you can't do it until you've done it. You can't get experience without going through the experience of getting experience. I hope that makes some sort of sense there. And so for me, I love that. It's just basketball. Just go play basketball. Go do your thing. Even if you fall behind, you're a second half team. Hopefully we start fast. All right, let's go beyond. You got any final thoughts there? Because even though you're too good to do a bracket with me, I'm going to do a quick one on air.
Okay.
You got any final thoughts on Nebraska, though?
No, I think a lot of people, just the one thing people are worried about a little bit is rebounding. Obviously, Thomas Dowd averages a double-double, so that would be the one thing to watch out. But like you said, with that lead, I think the crowd that will be there will be kind of help Nebraska elevate them. But the longer you let them stick in the game, the more... Obviously, the scarier it gets.
That's an interesting way of looking at it because it's going to be heavy, Nebraska crowd. Heavy. Like a home court advantage. I forget where it was. I saw somewhere where someone said, if it is a close game, it could become an eerie feeling, and I wonder if the crowd almost works against us to a certain point, which I'd rather have the home court feeling or vibe or advantage, in my humble opinion. So, yes, down low, there's been times this year when we've been out physical. Points in the paint, rebounding, things of that nature. I mean, our leading shot blocker on the year averages 1 block a game. Like, that is not what we're built. We're built around being perimeter, great defense, being a perimeter type team, passers, cutters, hitting the outside shot. We brought in a ton of shooters last year in the portal. I remember every time these guys were brought in, I'm like, man, we could shoot. We brought in another shooter. So that is kind of what we're built to do. Well, you can't have, if you have a guy who's really good down low, he's probably not going to be a 5 like Rink that can come out, pass, hit the long ball. So you can't have everything. If you're going to have a guy who can do the things that Rink can do, you may not be as apt down towards the hoop and dominant down low. But if you're dominant down low, then it doesn't really fit what Fred Hoiberg's offensive system has been this year. So Hoiberg has built it around one of the best offensive systems in the country. We got a really good defense. We just need to show up and do what we do. We're 6-6 in our last 12 games since we started 20-0. Two of our last 3 games, unfortunately, lost by, 20 points or more. Just put that behind us. It's the second season. Literally nothing matters at this point. Go out and play ball, take it one game at a time, because literally the NCAA tournament is one freaking game at a time. I feel like I had one more thing to add to that, and I can't remember what it was. It'll probably pop in my head a little bit later. Oh, I know what it was. So Troy has, I think, 3 players that are 6'9". We have players that are 6'10", 6'11". So, yeah, they've got guys who average a double-double and whatnot, and they're a good team. They're in the tournament. They're going to be a good team. I don't feel like we should get pushed around down low this game. I mean, it could possibly happen. I wouldn't expect it. When I come back, I will reveal to you who possibly sort of might kind of be the national champ for this year. As we go through my NCAA tournament picks, I will say this. Where we're a 4 seed, that means we're projected to be a Sweet 16 team, right?
Yeah.
We're a 4 seed. That's kind of what the committee's thinking there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Take your operation to the next level. Right now at Landmark Implement, take advantage of special financing on model year 2019 through 2025 John Deere tractors, sprayers, and combines. Take advantage of a 12-month fixed interest waiver, followed by John Deere Financial standard rates, or choose from multiple split rate offers with approved credit. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Nebraska men's basketball is dancing. The Huskers qualified for the NCAA tournament, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to cover all the action. Follow me, Austin Orman, on all 93.7 The Ticket social media platforms for updates throughout Nebraska's appearance in the Big Dance. Our coverage from Oklahoma City is made possible by Sandhills Careers and Insight Partners. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Byrne as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got to move quickly. We got a lot to cover. Nebraska women's basketball takes on Richmond. The Huskers lost 9 of 11, 18-12 overall, playing Richmond, who's 26-7. The Huskers are a 2.5-point favorite. If they win, they will become an 11th seed in the round of 64. This is a round of 68, and they would take on 24-8 Baylor. Give me the Lady Big Red basketball team to score at least one more point than the Richmond team heading into the round of 64. Quick update. Nebraska softball swept Michigan over the weekend. Outscored them 18-8 in the 3-game series. They've now won 10 games in a row. They're 21-5 on the season, a top 5 team in the country. They have beaten more ranked teams and more top 10 ranked teams than any other team in the country. Baseball's flying under the radar right now. Started 3-0 for the first time since 2005. Had a rough patch. Now they've won 9 in a row. They're 14-5, which means softball and baseball combined, Jake, have won 19 games in a row. All right. They had in Maine, people are like, oh, they had a walk-off 2-run game-winning homer to win the last game of the series to complete the series sweep of Maine this past weekend. People are like, Maine? Remember back in the 80s, before I was born, Maine was in the World Series like a lot in the 1980s. All right, so don't disrespect Maine. All right. Let's see. Let's get to the tournament. So we're not going to go game by game here. I'll give you my first round highlights, upsets. TCU over Ohio State, 9-8. I guess we're going to call that an upset because I don't have a lot of them, to be honest with you. Let's see. Let's go to the bottom part of the bracket here. I do have Iowa beating Clemson, another 9-8. Am I a bad person for picking Iowa?
A little bit.
Just a little. Not a lot, just a little. I have A&M over St. Mary's. Am I a bad person for picking A&M?
Oh, that one can slide.
All right, 10/7. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick the other upset. St. Louis over Georgia. Wow. I didn't realize I had all these 9s/8s. What about the top part of the bracket here? Nope, Villanova over Utah State. I have 1 8 over a 9. My big upsets are 9/8 and then A&M over a 7 seed. That's really it. All right, I have Nebraska. I do have them beating Troy. Again, go out, play their game, do what they do. They averaged 77 points a game this year for the season as a whole. During the end part of the year, the last 4 games of the year, was a little bit of strugglage going on. They only averaged 63. The average amount of points scored in a men's college basketball game is 72.5. If we can just hit our regular season average of 77, we cover and win by 13.5 with our defense. But we'll see what happens. I do have Nebraska moving on. We're going to skip to the Sweet 16. Well, I can't skip to the Sweet 16 without covering Nebraska playing Vanderbilt. This was actually the tougher one for me. And then I'll go to my round of 16. So who do you have Nebraska beating? All right, you don't want to divulge because you're too good. You're waiting for next.
That's right.
Aren't you? You can't divulge?
Can't
Fine.
divulge.
All right. I have Nebraska beating Vanderbilt. No real logical reason. That was purely, I just wanted them to go through, to be honest with you. If they play McNeese, it would have been an easier pick. We are higher seeded, so there's my justification. Okay. So Sweet 16, I have Duke and Kansas, 1-4. I got Duke beating Kansas. UConn, Michigan State. There's a lot of chalk here. I did not go out on many limbs. All right. I have UConn over Michigan State. I did debate that one a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do have UConn over Michigan State. Round of 16, Florida and Nebraska. Do you think I pulled the trigger, put Nebraska in the Elite Eight?
Well, I mean, especially going back to the Florida-Nebraska rivalry, you had to not do that. Based on your response.
You can tell my look on my face. I did not. I could not pull that trigger. My bias only goes so. I could justify us over Vanderbilt. We're the 4 seed. They're the 5. I couldn't justify over Florida. I don't believe Florida is going to be in the Final Four. Don't get me wrong. I just couldn't justify putting us in over Florida. So I do have Florida over the good guys. All right. But that's okay. We made the Sweet 16. Dude, we're going to party in the streets of Lincoln like we just won the world championship. Could you see that happening? Party in the streets of Lincoln?
Yeah.
I could too. Illinois and Houston. This was not easy. I took Houston, and you'll see why in a second. All right, Iowa State over Kentucky, Virginia over Tennessee, Texas Tech, a 5-4 over Alabama, mostly because, SEC. All right. Oh, I did have Missouri over Miami, a 10 over 7. Apparently, when it's 7, 10, 8, 9, I like the lower seeds. Other than that, it's pretty much chalk for me. Gonzaga over BYU. Arkansas over Wisconsin. That's not a gimme. I about had Wisconsin. I went back to Arkansas. All right. Going into my Final Four here. I have Arizona over Arkansas. I have Purdue, red hot Purdue over Gonzaga, playing some great ball right now. Michigan over Tech. I have Iowa State over Virginia. Houston over Florida. Again, I don't buy into Florida being, they're good, they're not great. Okay. I have Duke over UConn. So here's my Final Four. Duke, Arizona, Michigan, all one seeds. I had no guts in this tournament. No guts.
Chalk.
Okay. Except for Houston. I had them over Florida.
Yeah.
So I got a 2 seed in there. Arizona, Michigan. The 3 games I debated the hardest were UConn, Michigan State, Arizona, Michigan, and then I took Arizona over Michigan. Then it was Arizona versus the winner of Duke, Houston, Duke. The Duke and Arizona, Michigan could get in there. I think those are the 3 best teams, Duke, Arizona, Michigan. Like, those are the 3. I think the national champion is going to come out of one of those 3 teams. I had a hard time debating Arizona, Michigan, but it wasn't uber hard. I just thought back to the night Nebraska basketball almost beat them on their home court, -2 players, and I'm like, I just have a hard time with Michigan after that. Being a true national championship team, maybe they are. Who knows? UConn, Michigan State was a tough one for me. But then my national championship matchup, I have Duke over Houston, Arizona over Michigan, the Final Four, Duke and Arizona. You don't have to give away your bracket. But do you have Duke and Arizona, like, in the Final Four at all?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you think about these. I mean, those teams definitely separate. And I'm glad that you kind of made a separation with Florida. I think there is one. Duke, Arizona, and Michigan are the top teams. Obviously, anything can happen, but they're all battle tested. I mean, they've shown that throughout the year.
I have Arizona winning it. There was a point this year where I said it was Arizona in the field, and like a week later, Arizona lost 2 straight games, and I was like, well, that made me seem kind of foolish. But they haven't lost since. And I think they're back to playing like they were the first 40% of the season. They had a middle 20, which wasn't great, and now the last 40%, they've been playing a lot better. So, and Arizona already beat Houston, the Big 12 championship, in the Big 12 tournament. So I've got Arizona winning it. Come back to Nebraska. They make the Sweet 16. That would be just epic. And it's not outside the realm of possibility. It's not outside the realm of possibility they could lose the first game, too. This is March Madness. You never know what will happen. But making the Sweet 16 would be epic. If they somehow made it to the Elite 8, and I only bring this up because what an epic day it would be, March 28th, spring game at 11, Elite 8 Nebraska basketball game that afternoon. That would be epic. Thoughts?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of funny how much we talked about that. Now that we're here, a lot of people get nervous about that Sweet 16 game, but still very much a possibility.
Plus, we would have beaten Florida again, to your point. That would be awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a glorious day. Go Big Red. And always remember to throw the ball.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care